Welcome everyone to Let's Talk Night. My name is Christian Duran. This is my wife Michelle. We're here with Ricky Villegas and Tatum Duran. And today we're going to be talking about the effects of social media and how to use it for doing good. So I have a question for you guys to start off. What was your first experience with social media?
Well, mine was MySpace.
Old. Sorry.
That's crazy.
The
That is
MySpace was crazy. Sometimes I think about it. At the time, I didn't think about it. But I probably got it in middle school. And went through high school. But you literally ranked your friends on MySpace.
Did this.
And it
Savage.
created so
That's
much
crazy.
drama. And the worst was too when your friend would boot you out because she started dating, and then the guy took first place. And there would be
Memories,
there would be a
memories.
drama during that time. But yeah, I
Yeah.
look back at MySpace, it's just really funny.
I was
I
thinking,
don't
do we
really
consider
care.
YouTube as social media?
I wouldn't
Because I
consider
remember.
my first.
Hmm.
Would it?
Okay, well then I guess Instagram, because I remember I actually have the specific memory of me being at home and me asking my older brother to make my Instagram account for me, because I remember everyone was talking about Instagram. It was I think it was just starting to I guess trend or
Yeah.
just get popular, and I was just oh, I want to get Instagram, I want to catch up with friends and stuff. I just remember downloading it and just seeing all the saturated photos, filters,
the
filters.
black and
I
white,
forgot
and I was
about
like,
That's how it started.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was Facebook in ninth grade. I went to Hawaii with my family for a wedding. My cousin got married, and they all had Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do a Facebook to keep in touch with you guys." And then my friends had it, and then my name was Christian Shoot the Lights Out Duran.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, what about you, Tatum?
I think my first was probably, Snapchat, I think was my first form of social media. So I would always use the filters to give me clear skin, or I would always try to post the fun things. And I really just did it to keep up with friends. We also had streaks. I don't remember if you remember
Oh,
that.
I do
The
remember that.
streaks, and I would
Oh,
try to get
Remember.
up to
I didn't really care.
I think
to be
I got
honest.
up with one of my friends to 500. And if I would go on vacation where I wouldn't have service, I would give my account information to my friend so
Oh
she could
my.
keep up my
Oh,
streaks
wow.
for me.
We have different generations because you go from MySpace to Snapchat. That's very different. All right, different question. Do you guys know how much time the average person spends on social media? I looked it up, and it said that they took a survey for teenagers, and teenagers answered the survey, and what they came up with was 50% of teens use are on social media 7 hours a day.
Dang.
At least 7 hours a day.
At least 7.
Yes. So I thought it'd be funny if
The
we pull up
minimum.
our screen time
Oh,
and we're vulnerable with the world about how much time we spend on social media. So at home too, you guys can do that. All right, this week I'm on Instagram 28 minutes a day,
Oh,
not
dang.
bad, and I'm on Netflix and YouTube 30 minutes a day.
I got an average of Instagram for 34 minutes, my Instagram reels.
nice.
nice.
Same. I would say it says about an hour, give or take, every day on Instagram. If we're not considering YouTube, then that's a whole different topic. But
Wait,
you know,
what's your
Throw it in
Be-
there, throw in YouTube.
What's your Be
Uh,
Real?
I'm not on B-roll for that long, probably 10, 15 minutes. But YouTube, I'm average at least an hour and a half easily, just scrolling through and watching.
I'm on TikTok an average of 2 hours a day. And then Instagram, surprisingly, maybe it's just for this week, but 13 minutes a day, which I feel isn't that much. But I do feel it affects me a lot. So that's why I find it surprising, because I'm I feel I am affected by Instagram a lot.
Okay, it is good to just figure out what's the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm on there a lot less than I
Yeah.
actually am. Then it literally records it,
Yeah.
you know? So, but for you guys, what do you feel are the good and bad things you see from social media use? What would you say for yourselves?
I think for me, I like it because I can keep in touch with friends and stuff, especially after high school, and I went to college, and now in college making new friends and stuff, and it's helpful to stay in touch and kind of keep in the know and stay in the loop with friends, and then also vice versa for them to stay in the loop with me. I feel it creates kind of natural conversations too, or
Yeah.
easy contact.
Yeah.
For me, it affects my body image a lot. I know basically, so one of the first memories I have of Instagram was, I think it was my freshman or sophomore year of high school. The guys in my high school basically made an account to rate all of the girls
No, we
in
had
our
that
grade.
too.
Um,
Unfortunately.
That's
Unfortunately,
crazy.
yeah, and it was crazy. So I remember I found out that they posted about me, And I was like, hey guys, can you take it down? And they were like, no, take it as a compliment.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with
Yeah,
you
for
like
sure.
having my photo and
Guys are
saying
messed up.
like she's
really
an
are.
8 out of 10 or whatever. Like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Please take it down. And they were like, no, it's fine. And it's really weird because these guys were actually my friends. Like
So you know
I
what they're thinking
consider them my
about
friends. I would hang out with them. I
Yeah.
would text them, whatever. So it was really weird seeing how like, man, my friends just blatantly use social media to kind of just objectify
Yeah, for
me and
sure.
all the other girls. And then it
Yeah.
also was really damaging to at least my mindset, because then I ended up competing with those girls and I would like compare and be like, well,
Yeah,
they
for sure.
posted about her and her post got more likes, or my post got better comments
true.
than her post.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
okay, where do I stand? Or yeah, she got better comments or people liked hers more. So like, how can I be more like her? Oh, okay, she's
Yeah.
skinnier than me. Let me like lose weight, or
Yeah, for
she's
sure.
uses more makeup, whatever it may be. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I know
That's
it was
real.
damaging and just made everything really competitive.
Yeah.
And it was just like a really unhealthy mindset.
For sure. Yeah,
I was
thanks
like
for
even
sharing that.
thinking like sort of similar with like the good parts of like social media is like being able to connect like with people easily and like just seeing how they're doing and like catching up and like I don't know, just seeing how people's lives are going. But then also like similar to like kind of like the influence it has against people. Because I remember oh, it was like crazy. I think it was like 2 years ago or like a year ago. There was like this TikTok trend called like hitting a devious lick.
I do.
And it
remember
was
that.
it was the crazy like I think it was one of the craziest like trends I ever saw on like TikTok, because it like started off with like people like taking soap dispensers from like schools, which was like
It's so
kind of
stupid.
stupid but like kind of funny. I was like, oh, that's like wild. But then it eventually like unraveled into like people like stealing like bathroom toilets,
Yeah.
sinks,
Gosh.
like their principal's like
Couldn't
car
believe it was
door.
that.
It was like no,
What?
it was literally like the craziest thing ever. And I was just
So
like,
dumb.
wow, like I was like sitting there, I was like, I cannot believe like how easily people can be like influenced by
Yeah.
like just
for
like
sure.
that much more like attention on social media or just like likes and stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a deadly
Yeah.
weapon, a very silent deadly weapon.
Oh yeah.
For sure. No, that's real. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like,
Yeah.
because I think you're talking about the influence. Like, on the flip side, you can influence people to do something good, but
Yeah.
oftentimes
No,
we're
you totally
using it
can.
to like compare ourselves. Or
Yeah.
I'll be on there and I'm like, oh, I want to be the one I get the most is like, I want to be in Italy. Like,
Yes.
Oh, for
I see the
sure.
It's
Amalfi
always
Coast.
Italy.
I was
Italy,
like, oh
Spain,
man,
Hawaii.
I'm just,
Hawaii.
I'm in my bed in Cupertino. I want to be in Italy right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's easy to like use it for negative, but you also use it for good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it'd be good to talk about how social media is impacting us.
Yeah.
So it makes me think of the scripture in Romans 12. Do not allow this world to mold you in its own image. Instead, be transformed from the inside out by renewing your mind. As a result, you will be able to discern what God wills and whatever God finds good, pleasing, and complete. So it's a really cool scripture, but every day we're bombarded by the world with having a certain image, right? You're supposed to look this way. Your house or your car should look like this. You
Yeah.
should have
Right.
this amount of money, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't fight against the world with scriptures and a relationship with God, like the world will mold you into its own image. That's basically what it's saying, right?
Yeah.
And that's when jealousy consumes you, loneliness, just like out of this world, right? But it's easy to be deceived, right? And then thinking like, oh, if I look a certain way, then I'll be more confident, or if I look a certain way, then I'll be more liked, you know? So I think that scripture really helped me. I was like, okay, like I really have to fight back against that, right? Proverbs 4:23 is another scripture I was thinking of. It says, be careful what you think, because your thoughts run your life. So it's basically saying whatever you put in, like what you spend your time consuming is what you're going to be thinking about,
Yeah.
right? So what do you spend your time thinking about? Whether it's the good things, right? Like, okay, I want to help other people, or I want to build the community, or, you know,
Yeah.
just positive things, right? But on the flip side, we could spend our time thinking about what we've already been talking about, our bodies, wishing we had someone else's life,
Yeah.
someone
Oh, for
else's
sure.
girlfriend or boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many studies that share like loneliness and depression, the
Yeah.
anxiety, they all skyrocket when we spend more time on social media, because it's
Yeah.
so easy to sit there for hours and just scroll
Yeah.
and scroll. And then you like compare your life to people that 95, 99% of the time you'll never even meet.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are these people even
Yeah.
It's
real?
like-
Yeah.
Social media isn't bad, but when we spend our time, like, we have to slow down and think, like, what are we actually doing on
Yeah.
this, you know? Because I'll be like, most times I'll be looking at recipes. I do the ASMR stuff.
Oh man,
The
that
Oh,
is
crunchy,
goodness.
the crunchy sandwiches,
Or,
and
like-
I was
Oh,
like,
you like the
"Oh,
crunchy
I love-
ones?
Sounds
I
wonderful.
I
want the
love the
sandwich."
like mukbangs. Those
Yeah.
are great.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like
the
people
mukbangs.
eating like large
Exactly.
amounts of food. I'm just like, Dang, now I'm hungry. Or like
Oh yeah.
or like even Sean
Positive.
Evans hot ones. I love
Oh,
that.
I love hot
So
ones.
good.
That's
I
my
never
favorite.
tried it. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to.
It's hot.
I would love
It is
to.
very-
That's a
the wings are
dream
hot.
of mine
It's
to go on the
they're
show.
very hot.
What do you guys think? Like, have you seen social media affect your loneliness and your envy, like in your
Yeah.
life?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I know for me, I can speak for women. The jealousy goes through the roof. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It goes
Yeah.
through the roof. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just compare every little detail and every little thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even recently, too, with like all the graduation posts
Yeah.
that have happened recently. I am personally just kind of behind on my career path or my
okay,
education
so
path,
am I.
but I can feel really insecure about it. And so, like, I can just compare. I can just compare myself though a lot when I like see other people's posts. I'm like, oh, like that should be me.
Yeah.
Or just being
that
like,
drove
man,
me.
like what do they think of me because I'm not graduating yet?
Yeah.
I like
random
usually think about
things.
like even like the typical question I ask myself is like what is my worth kind of. I think that's like the typical question I'll go to, like
Yeah.
even with like social media and like comparing my like loneliness and like envious, like, I don't know, like tearing myself down a lot, because that's always like the first person I go to is like when it comes to like criticalness or like competitiveness. It's just like it's really easy for me to just like look at myself and just be like, what do I not have, instead of like thinking about the things that I do have and like the, I don't know, just like good things about me. But I always just think about myself and like what I don't have. And
Well, it's crazy that you guys both said that you're behind in school, but it's also just the comparing game.
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not even necessarily
No one's
true.
behind.
No one's
Yes.
behind, right? 'Cause we all
Right.
have our own, paths and tracks. And
Yeah, which is that's
what
what
we're
I've
doing.
I've noticed for myself too, is like I will feel fine with my life and with
Yes.
myself when I'm not
Yes.
on social media, and if I hop on for like 10 minutes, I'll immediately just be like, everything in my life is falling
Yeah,
apart
yeah.
and nothing is
I'm
good
behind.
enough. I'm not good
no,
enough.
Totally.
For sure.
Absolutely.
am I making a lot of money? No,
Yeah.
No.
I'm broke.
Yes.
Kind of wrapping up. What do you think would be one good way we can actually use social media? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think for me, yeah, definitely like following more like positive posts. So like, or like accounts too. Little things where it's like, oh, like this account that I follow like posts like scriptures the day, and that's like helpful because it's just like, just one scripture in this flood of like darkness is even just something that helps, you know.
Okay.
And so I think, yeah, following more just like positive accounts too. It's also just like so sad and so dark. Like there's always people arguing about random topics, and it's like there's no need for that. It's just like following like good news of like, hey, this puppy was saved or something
Yeah.
like that.
I think about like even like the Instagram account, because like we're not really strangers. It's like one of the best Instagram accounts to use, because it's like all it's promoting is that like everyone has like a life story, and like everyone has like personal problems or like things that they go through. And like the whole point is like we're not really strangers. Like we don't really know like how connected we are until like we like actually talk about things. And like that Instagram account actually talks about it a lot. And I'm just like, dang, like I definitely feel the way that these people feel, or like they're like questions they ask you. It's just like, oh, how are you really doing today? And I'm just like, whoa. Too far.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's
Deep.
just those kind of things, like just filling yourself up with like either like questions to ask yourself in like more of a positive way, or like things that can like help you bring like relationships closer with like your friends or like people you're dating, or I don't know, just things that I think about, like those kinds of things for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I started following I think it's just called Good News on Instagram during the pandemic, because there was just so much,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
especially during the pandemic.
it was just
Especially
so
during the
hard. I
pandemic.
literally remember thinking I need to follow more positive things. Or, I mean, some of the other things I was thinking about is just using it more to reach out to even friends and
Oh,
like
yeah.
build like faith or encouragement, because I mean it's helpful, like you said, when I see scriptures. I actually saw you posted one in Romans that I like stopped and
Dope.
read, that I was like, oh, this is really it's helpful.
Yeah.
Though to see that. I definitely want to use it more for that.
Yeah, I agree with connecting too. Of like, I'll use Instagram a lot to just send even just like memes to stay
Yeah.
connected to, especially my friends out of state or out of the country. And I'll send it, or just talk to them and be like, hey, how's it going? Or even too, like what you were saying of like being aware of what I post and like making sure that it's like positive and uplifting. I think for me too, like what helps me get out of that competitive mindset with either like my friends or random people or whatever is like if I'm seeing something and I'm like, I'm jealous that she's in Hawaii and I'm not, like I can be like, hey, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Like, we're just like posting like positive, like
Sweetie.
okay. You know what I mean? Though, like
Yeah.
being like complimenting and like admiring.
Being happy for people.
Being happy for people.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that helps me get out of like the competitive mindset. And also just helps me remind me like life is not that deep.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
not that personal. I don't all these little things that I worry about so much,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
So
Kind of like switching out like criticalness into like admiration and like just like,
yeah.
I don't know, just little emotional support boosts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Emotional support boost.
No,
That's
for
I
Yeah.
like
sure.
that.
Yeah, I think I was thinking it was the Matthew 5:14 talks about being a light in the to the world. And because I was thinking like that's what we could use it for. Like we have so much content to spread.
Yeah.
Even one of the YouTube, I would send a live stream to friends during the
Yeah.
pandemic,
Yeah.
and one of them ended up studying the Bible and building his own relationship with God because not because of me, but because they're just okay. I can use this and like actually help somebody instead of like
Yeah.
let me just I don't know look
Yeah.
at their life and wish I had it, you know. So,
Right.
but I don't
Yeah.
think we realize we can use social media and technology we have for good, right? And like we can use it to help other people
Yeah.
get to know God and have hope and have faith and like get to know about Him, right? So.
Yeah.
We hope that our discussion today can lead you guys to have good conversations with your friends and how to use social media for good. Thank you for listening.